The truth is, I don't know a lot about a lot of things. I am just one of those very simple people. One of those simple people that know very little about geopolitical affairs. And that's the truth. However, I do know this. I have friends, and I don't have a single friend who believes that the Hamas was right when they attacked Israel. In other words, the Hamas attack on Israel was plain wrong. Dr. King said that we really ought to approach these conflicts in a nonviolent way. I mean, it's not that I don't understand the frustration of thousands of years. I do. And then Mr. President Mandela of South Africa echoed the same thing. You know, violence is not the answer. So what's the Hamas to do? Well, I believe that there are a lot of different avenues that they could have chosen. That's my personal belief. So I want to preface what I'm about to say by telling you that I don't believe that what the Hamas did to the Israelis was correct. It was wrong, period. Now, having said that, I got to tell you that a lot of people, including myself, we sort of look at this conflict thing in a sort of a David and Goliath way. For example, right now, what you don't know is there is an alliance going on between the United States, Saudi Arabia, and Israel. And these three very powerful countries seems to be against the Palestinians. It seems somewhat unfair. But then, remember, I don't know everything that I should know about all this. I just don't think that when you have three very powerful countries against a little tiny country, that is, this entire country is less than a fraction of New Jersey. I mean, think about that. The United States is a pretty big country, don't you think? So, the president last night was on television, and he was convincing the American people that we should get involved with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. At least that's what I got out of it. He may not have said those words, but that's the impression that I got. And quite frankly, I wish you would correct me in the comment section. Okay, so now what we have is a people that has been displaced. And Egypt and Jordan, the last time I heard, did not want to take refugees from the Palestinian countries. And the reason why they did not, as far as I know, is that they, according to Egypt and Jordan, they think that the reason for the Israelis' attack on these Palestinian places is to drive them out so Israel can take those lands. I don't know. You, if you're into geopolitical conflicts, would know better than I do. Anyway, all I can say is from my point of view, and I'm very naive about matters like this, it just seems a little odd that three very powerful countries are against the Palestinians. It seemed a little odd to me. Now, every time I watch the news or read about the news, it's almost always from the Israelis' point of view. Almost always. Now, there's also another fly in the ointment. Now, I am not religious. Once I became an adult, I choose not to be religious, and I choose to think for myself, because a lot of things in religion simply did not make sense to me. That's my choice, not yours. My choice. For example, I believe that no matter what the sacred book says, This earth's a lot older than 6,000 years. Well, I read somewhere that the Christians are very much in favor of a conflict in the Middle East. And the reason why they're in favor of that is because their sacred book told them that they need a conflict in the Middle East so that Jesus will come. It's called Armageddon. Now, that makes absolutely no sense to me. But then again, I'm not a religious person. But I want you to think about this. Does it make sense to you that God would fan the flames of hate and conflict so that God would appear? It makes no sense. Yet Christians are trying their best to convince their people that the conflict must occur so that Jesus will come. Armageddon. See, that's the problem. A lot of these talking heads keep talking to people who are very well versed in geopolitical conflicts. So they're talking to their choir. Then you have people like me who is very naive, simple person. And we look at things a little differently. We just do. So, the bottom line is I don't think Hamas should have attacked Israel. I think Hamas should have used the resources that they have to draw attention to their conflict or what they're experiencing. That's my belief. Not violence really doesn't beget anything. Mahatma Gandhi says that you go around poking each other's eyes out. All that happens is that we are all blind. Violence is not the answer. Now, you've heard that before, but you're going to have violence when religion is involved. You got 3 religions involved here. The Muslims, the Jews, and Christianity. Christianity is fanning the flames of this conflict because they want to have Armageddon. If you're not a Christian, trust me, you don't understand it either. So, I have said my piece. Today is the 20th of October, 2023. And this conflict has been going on for thousands of years. Why? Because 3 religions are involved. The odd thing, all 3 of these religions are praying to the same God. Now you know why I have no respect or admiration for religions.